Hey crew, I can't believe this is a thing in Destiny 2. What you're watching, your eyes can't unsee. And remember, this is the solo legendary campaign. I am locked 15 light level under the enemies, as you can see by the swords, and this is just utter nonsense what we do to all the enemies, and even the boss and the Hive Light Guardian. Also, we get a super in each room thanks to this build, and it's the best DPS super in the game right now, so yeah, just think about that. The best of both worlds. We have Infinite Invis, Infinite Healing, Infinite Orb of Power generation, abilities for days that I hardly take advantage of, and to top it all off, getting our super back super fast. Oh, and wait, we can't be killed either. Like, that's how good this build is. This build is so broken on so many different levels, and you better take advantage of it while you can and have a blast with it. If you are new to the channel and found this video enjoyable or helpful, then make sure to hit that subscribe button for me and become part of the crew here. Also, for my regular viewers, if you could let this video play out once for me until the end, that goes such a long way in helping me out, so thank you so much if you do so, and it's a free way to support the channel. So thank you, I appreciate it. I will be live over on Twitch when this video goes live. The link is down in the pinned comment and the description, and to everyone that has come on over to the Twitch channel the last few days, thank you all so much for the support. The subs and the gifted subs, whether it was for the emblem or not, this emblem that you see on screen right here, the Long Live the Queen emblem that you can gift 2 subs and get it, it means the world to me that you took the time to come over from YouTube and say hi, hang out, and the generosity you all have showed me has been unreal. So thank you all from the bottom of my heart, and I mean that. Make sure to pay attention to all the parts of the build because that's what makes it work so well together. And if you have any questions, let me know. Come on over to the Twitch channel and I'll be able to answer them very quickly for you there. Now the super we're using is Mobius Quiver. That's because it's the best damage dealing super in the game. And we don't need to use Deadfall here because we can get our super back very, very fast, as you see in the gameplay, with just by using Mobius Quiver, so might as well take advantage of that extra DPS. We're using Marksman's Dodge. We get our dodge back faster because the base cooldown here is quicker than Gambler's Dodge, and it reloads our weapons. And then we're using Vortex Grenade, the best grenade to use on a hunter right now. For our aspects, we're using Stylus Executioner. Defeating a weakened, suppressed, or volatile target grants invisibility and true sight. We are always defeating volatile targets with this build, so we'll go over that soon enough. And then we have Vanishing Step. Dodging makes you invisible, and this provides 2 fragments. So we have a total of 4 fragments. For the fragments, one of the most important ones is Echo of Reprisal. Final blows when surrounded by combatants grant super energy. This is what always gets us that super back room to room when we're clearing out ads. We also have Echo of Persistence. Void buffs applied to you, which is our invisibility, have increased duration, which is great, invisible longer. We have Echo of Remnants for our grenade. Your linear grenade effects have increased duration, so our Vortex grenade lasts longer on the ground. And then we also have Echo of Undermining to apply that debuff to all our enemies or bosses or anything that we come up against we want to shoot a rocket at or 2. Now for the stats, you want to get up mobility as high as possible. If you could have 100 mobility, that would be great. I only have 80 mobility in the gameplay you're watching, but it's definitely not needed. You're substituting a bunch of different things that give ability regeneration and that will give us that dodge back very fast. One of the most important things to have is Ruinous Effigy. Now what this does is final blows with this weapon collapses victims into void transmutation spheres. This weapon was brought to us in Beyond Light and it got some huge buffs this season. It got a 40% damage buff just like all other primary exotics did. They considered the fusion rifles or the trace rifles a primary, so all trace rifles got that 40% damage buff. And they gave the orb a 66% damage buff. So now the orb does 66% more damage. And the trait here is evolution. And when we're guarding with our orb, when we're holding guard, it hurts and attacks nearby combatants and drains them and gives us health. So that's what we do. We pick up this orb. We're always holding our block button down. We're draining them, hurting them, doing a bunch of different things that we'll go over with the mods. And then we slam it into the ground for some serious damage. Now that got a 66% damage buff, everything we do with our orb. And on top of that, for our first mod, we're doing Font of Might. So now we have a 25% weapon damage buff, and this works with the orb too. Every time you pick up that orb, you will have that 25% damage buff when you're holding it down and doing damage with it. So Font of Might is awesome for this build, that's what it does. And then you're always invisible with the orb. For whatever reason, when you pick up this orb and hold it down, it does not break invisibility, which is huge for this build. For whatever reason, it just doesn't break the invisibility. Like, I don't know why, but we're just going to walk around with these orbs and be invisible 24/7 and just let it wreak havoc against every enemy there is. Now, to spawn a well, we're using Reaping Wellmaker. And this is after activating your class ability, your next weapon final blow on combatant spawns a void elemental well. So what I'll do when entering into anything with the exotic we're using is our chest piece, that's 6 coyote, and we gain a second dodge. So when I enter into a room, I will dodge, I'll go invisible, which procs Reaping Wellmaker. I will get 1 red bar kill. That's going to create a void well and our orb. I'm going to then dodge again to go invisible. I'm going to go grab that orb and the well, and everything just starts rolling. Then I'm going to hold block, and we also have elemental armaments on. Combatant weapon final blows with a damage type that matches your subclass element have escalating chance to spawn an elemental well. So now our orb and all these kills we're getting in our orb can spawn wells. And if you don't need this, because it's technically not needed, you could substitute Well of Tenacity here. So picking up a Void Elemental Well reduces the damage you take from combatants for a short period of time. This is a 50% damage reduction, and in all the gameplay you see, I was not even running this damage reduction. That's how crazy this is. For the boots, you stack on top of that time dilation here, and elemental well mods that grant you time limited benefits can now stack. So with this one mod on, it bumps our font of might up to about 14-15 seconds, and if you are using Well of Tenacity, it'll bump it up to 9 to 10 seconds. Also on our boots, we're running Orbs of Restoration. Pick up an Orb of Power, grants a small amount of energy to your ability with the least energy, and then also Absolution, reduce all ability cooldowns each time you pick up an Orb of Power. How are we spawning those Orbs of Power? On our helmet here, we have Harmonic Siphon. Rapid weapon final blows with damage matching your subclass type create an Orb of Power. So now all these rapid kills that we're getting in the thick of things with this big purple orb around us is creating Orbs of Power. We also have Dynamo on our helmet, reduce super cooldown when using your class ability new targets, and we're dodging in and out of all that stuff, so that's where that comes into play. And then on our class item here, we have 2 mods from the artifact. We have Volatile Flow. Picking up a Void Elemental Well grants your Void weapons volatile rounds. This grants the Orb Sphere volatile rounds. So when we pick up that orb and we hold block, it is then putting volatile rounds to everything because we picked up a well when we picked up the orb. I also have on Overload grenades just to deal with overloads if need be. This could be subbed out. I also have Distribution on here. Reduce all ability cooldowns when using your class ability and your targets. And then in a few weeks after the raid is done, we're going to unlock a fragment that is Echo of Starvation. Picking up an Orb of Power grants Devour. So we're creating a ton of Orb of Powers with this build from our helmet Harmonic Siphon mod. And I'm going to put on my class item when that is available and it's finally available. I'm going to put on Devouring Depths instead of Distribution. And what that'll do is casting your Void Super while you are critically wounded or benefiting from Devour increases your damage with that super. This is a 30% damage buff, and we're already using the Insane Mobius Quiver for that extra damage buff. So you guys can see how powerful this build already is, and we're going to make it even better later on. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you have not seen the couple videos that are up on screen right now, go give them a watch. The Titan, the Warlock builds are amazing. Give them a try. And if you guys haven't come over to Twitch, come over, say hi. If you want to get that emblem, give 2 subs, and I'll see you guys over there. Have a great rest of your day.